What up? What up? Yes, you did.
I'm gonna do it.
Hello, hello, hello. That sounds wonderful. I am live, Dan Salem on the BuzzChomp YouTube channel, here to talk with you about the NFL and the new season, which I guess is technically underway because the preseason counts in terms of being part of the season, but it's not really the season. But before we get into that, we will go live on Facebook in 3, 2, 1. Hello, hello. I'm Dan Salem. I'm live on Facebook at the Dan Salem. Always on Twitter and Instagram at the Dan Salem, as well over on the BuzzChomp YouTube channel live to discuss the NFL with you, as I am live every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Now, I missed last week. I was on vacation, NBD, went to Martha's Vineyard. It was kind of amazing. Had a wonderful week with family at the beach. I'm back live on Tuesdays. A quick note here, I'll say it at the beginning, I'll say it at the end. We are going to stick with our 5 p.m. Pacific on Tuesdays format throughout the season. However, bonus, we will be live on Facebook as usual, and you'll get me. But if you check out at the Dan Salem Facebook page, as well as my Twitter and Instagram, I will be sharing a link to our live debate forum over on the Zoom platform, where I will be joined by 2 friends of mine who run Section 323 podcast. They're big Giants Jets fans, and it's going to be the 3 of us debating live every Tuesday about the NFL and then with a New York focus. That video will then go up on the YouTube channel afterwards. So we won't be live on YouTube, but it will be up shortly thereafter. We'll be live on Facebook, and we'll get a 3-person NFL debate with questions from the audience, because we'll share the Zoom link and you guys can join me, or if you're joining on Facebook, we will I'll say them out loud, and then all 3 of us will debate. You'll get to watch all 3 of us. It'll be a video conference chat room. And maybe one day we'll get to do it in person, but they're over on the East Coast and I'm out here in Los Angeles. So we're going to do it digitally, virtually, and it's going to be a really cool new format where instead of just one voice, you get to hear 3. And their podcast is generally like an hour and a half. So we're going to start with the live NFL video debate between the 3 of us. And then after about 30 minutes, they're just going to segue into only New York football, and the 2 of them will continue to talk on, and that'll be the rest of their podcast. Whereas I will sign off most likely and conclude our live video NFL debate. So that's what's coming as the new season kicks underway. New format, new fun stuff, new people, new faces, but you may have already known about them. That being said, the preseason's underway. Week 1 is in the books. Some exciting things, some injury things, and some stuff to look forward to. I guess all of the rookie quarterbacks saw some action. Only a couple are making waves. First, it was Baker Mayfield for Cleveland, who did well in his preseason debut. Then Sam Darnold, who also did well for the Jets in his preseason debut. Now, the big difference is here, Cleveland Browns are going to start Tyrod Taylor at the year. Tyrod Taylor's an excellent quarterback, and Baker Mayfield, by all accounts, needs a little time to get acclimated. He'll probably start by midseason, unless the Browns are undefeated, which seems unlikely. Now, Sam Darnold has been like shooting up the Jets' stock. His stock's been rising. He's been having great practices. He looked great in the preseason. He's going to start the next preseason game. He is angling towards winning the starting job by week 1. I've been saying it all along. If he doesn't start week 1, he will likely start by October 1st. And I wrote on BuzzChomp today, so go check it out, BuzzChomp.com, BuzzChomp, or it's also, I shared it to my Facebook page here, so if you're live on at the Dan Salem Facebook page, you can see the article. The Jets are going to have 3 choices and a tough decision. This is a QB quandary. Most teams do not have this. Hardly any team has this problem ever. The Jets have 3 starting quarterbacks on their roster right now. Sam Darnold's a rookie. He's going to be the starter, if not week 1, by the first quarter of the season is over. That's a given. Josh McCown's a starter. He's there to segue and then back up. Teddy Bridgewater, former starter, now recovered from injury, able to be a current starter. He's young. No reason that he won't start for a team. So 3's a crowd. the featured image of this discussion. 3 is a crowd. What will the Jets do? Basically, there are 3 scenarios. Either Darnold's the starter, McCown's the backup, and they trade Teddy Bridgewater. Either McCown's the starter to begin with, Darnold's the backup, and they trade Teddy Bridgewater, or they keep all 3 quarterbacks to trade Teddy Bridgewater later. I see no scenario in which Bridgewater does not get traded. I do not believe the Jets will keep Bridgewater over McCown. I do not believe the Jets will start Bridgewater over McCown or Darnold. I do not believe the Jets will just keep all 3 guys all year. That's stupid. There's going to be an NFL team that needs a quarterback. It's just every year it happens. It's going to happen again. Last year, the Dolphins freaking signed, what the hell is his name? The ex-Chicago Bears guy, Jay Cutler, who flamed out because they were desperate and needed a quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater is going to get the Jets a haul. Now, whether they trade him and they get a pass rusher, which they desperately need pass rushing help, or they just get a 2019 first-round pick or second-round pick, I mean, I don't know. When you're desperate for a quarterback and they got a starter just sitting there on the bench who formerly was very successful for the Vikings, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to get. They're going to get a haul for Bridgewater. Darnold's going to start the game on Thursday against the Vikings. I bet he plays the first half and Bridgewater plays the second half. They have no reason to play McCown. They know what they got in him. He's good. He's ready. He's getting reps in practice. Maybe he'll get a series. But they want Bridgewater to develop and they want Darnold to develop. 3 is a crowd, but this is like the perfect storm. But this is great because you have 3 starters. Now, a lot of teams carry 3 quarterbacks. But honestly, there's no point in carrying 3 quarterbacks if you trust your first 2. Like, if you know the first 2 quarterbacks can get the job done, you don't. No, Maddie. Oh, she scared the hell out of me. Sorry. Daughter scared me for a second. If you trust your first 2 quarterbacks, there's absolutely no reason to have a third. The only reason the Jets have ever had 4 is because they didn't trust the first 3. So, like, you don't need 3. You don't need them. The Patriots almost always run it with 2. And there's a reason for that. You don't need that many players. You can use those spots for other positions. It's better served. So to think that they'll carry a third is just why? Why would they do that when someone's going to trade for that player? Now, the injuries are a big concern, obviously. The Redskins hit hard again. They lost their rookie running back. They lost a couple other players. It's interesting. I think they were angling towards a rebuilding year of sorts anyways. And now with these injuries, it looks like that might be the case. Ben Roethlisberger entered the concussion protocol. That's interesting. That would be a team now. They got a rookie quarterback who's going to be obviously working. They like their backup, so they'll probably carry 3. But if Ben Roethlisberger, who is nearing the end of his career, is seriously in jeopardy with the concussion, Bridgewater's on the table for the Steelers. The Eagles, yes, they have Nick Foles. But if Carson Wentz, he's like saying he's hopeful they'll be ready for week 1 of the season. That scares me. Hopeful. We're in mid-August. That's only 2 weeks away, and you don't even know if you're going to be ready for week 1. Bridgewater's on the table. Who else? Oh, yeah, Dolphins. Dolphins have had issues. That team always seems to have issues. Finally, the last rookie draft pick signed his deal with the Bears. That's good. You need to get those guys on the field. What other news and notes from around the NFL? There's some, fantasy football, obviously, the drafts are ready to go. Position battles to watch. Who's going to emerge as the Broncos starting running back? Personally, I'm excited to see what the Carolina Panthers happen because, yes, Christian McCaffrey is the starter. I just don't see him as an every down back. He's a first and second down back. He's not going to play all 4. He's not a 4-down back. He doesn't seem like a goal line, like consistent. And plus, Carolina loves to switch guys out, right? So they have Artis Payne, and then they also have Anderson from the Broncos, who had a 1,000-yard season last year. That is a crowded backfield. Carolina loves to run it with 2 guys. No, Maddie, I know you do, but I want her to stop. You scare me. I want her jumping off things. Scary stuff. I'm all the way over here. Can't do anything about it. So they're going to keep all 3 players. But who's the best? Who's actually going to get the carries? Like, I could see Anderson being the number 2 or, like, totally split with McCaffrey. I mean, McCaffrey's not going anywhere, but he's going to split with somebody. And I'm not convinced it's Artis Payne. I think Anderson's a real interesting look. And this obviously plays into fantasy, right? Like, why would you draft Teddy Bridgewater? Because he's at the bottom of the Jets draft chart. You draft him because you know he's going to start for a team at some point, or you just wait until it happens and pick him up in the season. I like Anderson, late round pick, because like he has a real shot at getting starting reps. And I don't trust the Panthers to like go with their depth chart as is right now. There's going to be more injuries too. It always happens. And ESPN's writing about breakouts and blah, blah, blah. What I like to read about is the fact that the Cleveland Browns are going to give away free beer to all the fans with their first victory of the season. Now, that's good. They didn't win a game last year. Not one. So, upon the first victory of the year, maybe it's week 1, maybe it's week 7. You don't know when it's going to happen. But the Browns fans will all get free beer. Now, I'm a little unsure of how this will work because generally those stadiums, they stop serving like around the end of the third quarter because they don't want people to be hammered and then drive home. So they figure if they cut you off at the end of the third quarter, you have a whole quarter to sober up. But if the game ends and everybody that was attending gets free beer, they can't just give you the beer at the end of the game. So maybe you get a voucher to buy a beer at the stadium, which means you have to come back for another game. What if you're not planning on coming back? How do you get your free beer? I'm not really sure how this is going to work. I just like the ring of the headline. It's a great headline. But I have no idea how this will actually work out because I know that they're not going to serve them beer after the game's over. Like, that's a no-no. You cut people off with at least a quarter to play because you don't want them driving home inebriated. Big liability. You also want to wrap up things. You don't want a giant line of concession stand for free beer after the game. So I got to believe they'll give them a free beer voucher, but like, how do they acquire this without returning to the game for the stadium for another game? Lots of people only go to one game a year. NFL games are expensive to attend, easy to attend on, watch on TV. Another Cleveland Browns news and notes. This is like the most buzzworthy team of the preseason. Dez Bryant going to meet with the Browns. He would be a great pickup for Cleveland. A veteran presence. Really a great weapon for Tyrod Taylor and or Baker Mayfield. And, I mean, they already got Jarvis Landry. So Jarvis Landry, Dez Bryant, that just opens things up for their running back with Duke Johnson and a couple other players in the backfield competing for reps. Expectations are fully tempered, but I like the team the Browns have assembled. They didn't have a bad defense last year. It just wasn't anything exceptional. They had a below average offense. Now, Hugh Jackson has not really proven himself to do much of anything as a head coach, especially with Cleveland. Yet they keep keeping him around. He's got like the coldest seat in the league. Dude didn't win a game last year, and yet he kept his job. That is pretty much unheard of. So they like him. He's doing something right. He's doing something right. Winning isn't one of those things, but he's doing something right. So at some point, Hugh Jackson is going to win with enough talent on his team. They've got good young players. You bring in another solid veteran with Dez. Like, Dez will take the pressure off. I'm not sure he can really ball. Like, he can put up 600-700 yards this season, 5 touchdowns. That's fine. It's not his former numbers, but he will likely garner the attention of your best defender, or at least your tallest. I mean, Landry's probably a bigger threat, but like, you can't cover Landry and Dez. You leave Dez open, he's too big. He's gonna rack up the points like in the yard. So I like them getting him into the mix on their offense. things are happening in Cleveland. And, I mean, I think Baltimore is probably the toast of that division. Yes, the Steelers have the offensive firepower. I just don't trust Ben Roethlisberger to stay healthy, and I don't quite trust their defense. He's already in concussion protocol. It's only the preseason. And not sorry, Cincinnati, but you seem to be still running it back with the same team that didn't get you very far last year. That's where we stand in the AFC North. So Cleveland doing exciting things. The Raiders, I want to be excited about the Raiders, but I can't be excited about the Raiders. And crushing injuries in the preseason. It's just always the thing. I said the Redskins, they lost Darius Geis. And yes, Antonio Brown is injured for the Steelers, but I'm not worried. That's not like a worrisome injury. Doug Baldwin's going to miss some time for the Seahawks, and I don't know who they're going to pick up at wide receiver to replace him. I mean, he's supposed to be back for the opener, but that sounds like wishful thinking. 49ers injury list is long. And so then the Eagles. Carson Wentz might not be ready for week 1. And quarterback Nick Foles is having neck spasms. Does that mean Teddy Bridgewater is going to get traded to the Eagles? I'm not ruling these out. The Jets are going to deal him for somebody big. I'm excited for the possibility because he has worked himself out in this sense. A lot of these other injuries, I mean, they're linemen. I'm not going to say them because we don't know their names. Just happy to hear that Andrew Luck appears back and ready to play. I hope he can sustain it, but we will see. Their running back, Marlon Mack's, also injured. And then Joey Bosa hurt again for the Chargers. I don't think it's serious, but, like, he's just been injured a lot. Who else? Torn ACL for linebacker Jake Ryan of the Packers. That's done. He's done for the year. That sucks. He's out for the season. Randall Cobb's nursing an injury, but I don't think it'll be serious. Patriots got a running back injury, but we don't know who's going to start for them anyways. Sonny Mitchell's got a knee injury, but only 10 days, so it's not going to be too serious. Who else hurt? Who else is hurt? Anybody else of note? Anybody else of note? And the Jets got some injuries on their offensive line, but we don't think they're too serious. That's really the extent of it. I'm excited for the up-and-coming Sam Darnold. Did I say that already? Of course I did. It's a fun time to be a football fan with a ton of rookie quarterbacks stepping into the league. And, like, I mean, the preseason is full of hope for everybody, but especially my Jets with a quarterback who actually is going to start early. Baker Mayfield will probably see the field relatively soon, but Tyrod Taylor's no slouch. I'm not sure if Rosen in Arizona is going to see the field before midseason. The Ravens will get Lamar Jackson on the field, but he's not necessarily going to be the starter. He'll just get some plays for himself. Buffalo, I don't think they're starting whatever, the other guy. They're not starting their quarterback. Josh Rosen. I'm getting confused. Anyways, he's not starting. It must be time to wrap up. I'm getting confused. But it's been a long off season, just a weird off season, if you will, because yes. So last year the Eagles didn't enter as any sort of favorite, and neither did the Rams. So they obviously do this year. But the Patriots are still on top. The AFC hasn't changed dramatically because the quarterback situations haven't changed dramatically. The NFC is kind of up in the air, except for the Vikings, who are still near the top. They were high last year entering, and they just keep rising and rising and rising. But, I mean, people are thinking Green Bay will rebound. We don't really know. The NFC South is obviously very strong top to bottom. But, like, there's turnover every year. What's going to turn over? That's the big question. Week 1 tells lies. The entire first month of the NFL season tells lies. What I do know is some teams, like the Patriots, just keep on winning. I don't know who's going to be the loser this year, but it's not going to be them. It's very, very unlikely. I'm Dan Salem over on the BuzzChomp YouTube channel and at the Dan Salem on Facebook, as well as Twitter and Instagram. As I noted, this is a 20-minute live stream. We're going to push to 30 for our 3-person debate format. You're going to get to hear from other people besides myself. That will be starting week 1 of the season. A couple more weeks of the preseason here. I will likely be live streaming. Not likely. I'll hit it up next week, but then I'm going to be on a vacation for a wedding week after. So then I'll probably have one more solo stream before we do this group format. I'm excited. Thank you guys so much. I'll be back next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific. Facebook at the Dan Salem, YouTube's BuzzChomp YouTube channel. Have a good rest of your evening. Woo.